Hello, Transformers fans. It is Speedball, and today for you guys, I have for you from Transformers Rise of the Beasts and Blokees Classic Class Model Kit Series. I have for you Rise of these Maximals, Big Bottom Self, Optimus Primal, Bot, and Beasts. Because, quick reminder for those who might not know, for transform models, or at least in this case, can you transform these guys? Well, normally I tell you no, because in most model kits cases, unless of course it has a fun special gimmick, no, usually we can't. But Blokees has found an alternative to that, as you can see in front of me, because, well, they actually decided to release both versions of Primal in his bot and beast modes, which is very cool because, well, that solves one problem if you wanted, both versions for one. And two, it seems to be a new thing with Blokees that they seem to be doing with at least their creature or beast type transformers. And I say that because if any of you have ever seen their G1 sets, their new line of Dinobots they have, or they're still adding two. For every wave we get, we seem to be getting a Dinobots bot mode and their dino mode in the same set. So that's really cool because I'm assuming that any future, creature-based release of any Transformer characters will end up getting their bots and their alternate creature forms, which is really cool because that gives us so many ideas we could see, hopefully. But enough about that. Let's look into these two right now, starting with Optimus Primal's bot mode. As you can see, this is a really cool bot mode. I like the details. I love this dark silver colored plastic, and of course this really cool clear lens part right here, which if I can get, has the Maximal symbol right molded into it. It's really cool. And the reason why the section is of course clear, same with his eyes, is because when you tap on these specific kits of the classic class and other such units from Blokees, well, they actually, one second, they glow. It's really cool. I really like that gimmick for these kits. That's so much fun. And of course, same goes for our literal big bot here. You tap him, his eyes will glow, and same with the inside of his mouth. It's really cool and such. And if you're wondering about articulation real quick, these guys are fully posable. They use the same joints as such as their other Transformer kits do and other such waves they have and such, but it's really cool. It's a ball jointed neck. You can go so far until you bump into armor or such like that. The arm itself, full 360 without any problems, up and down, no probs. You can rotate his arm as far as you want, bend it about that far, so he says hi. You ball jointed wrists, complete 360 waist with no problems, and no looseness or anything like that. His legs can go about that far, but it seems it's because of how his thighs are designed that they turn sort of. But they can go about that far back without bumping into armor, and then you can bend his knee all the way far at that. His leg, of course, his foot's on a ball joint, so you can go as far as possible with that, and such like that. And now to get on to Primal, Beast Mode's articulation, because as you can see, I already have him in a very gorilla-like pose. But yes, he too has full 360 motion. His arms go about that far. Hands are also on a ball joint, so they can go like that. Now, as you can see with the shoulder setup here, it's a bit different because he can go much further with his arms than bot mode can. And he can, of course, go full 360 that way. But he could bend his arm all the way up to here, because note that between the bot and the beast mode's design and of course articulation capabilities, the beast mode was designed much different than their normal ones, so there's going to be some differences and some advantages this one will have to his bot mode and vice versa. He does have a chest set up for articulated points, so you can do this with him, go if you want. Let's see. His mouth can open and close. That's one gimmick I really like about this kit. That is so cool. If you're good with stop motion, this would probably be very fun to play with. And his head can go about that far, as you can see. Now, due to the the shoulder and neck setup here for the body, his head can only go so far, but I can understand. Though to be fair, I'm not planning to turn his head all the way around the back. And as for his feet and legs, he can go, he can go all the way around with no issue. Though there's no knee bend, sorry guys, but his feet cover that by giving this extra point here of swivel. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys, for him, for his articulation. So it's not as much as his bot mode, honestly, but it does still have a good amount of range, to be fair. I've played around with this one, and I really do like it. It's so much fun to play with. Though note, it can be a bit tricky to get his feet on the stand here. And of course, before we go into anything else, I'll go into accessories really quick. For our beast mode, Optimus Primal, you pretty much only get hands and like some leftover joint stuff. Well, actually, sorry, that's bot mode. But for beast, you get hands. He has his closed fists right now. You also get a pair of these. I believe these are just like a standing hand pose, I think. I'm sorry, I don't know this posed finger setup that well because it looks like he's trying to give you a thumbs up, but they're pointing down, so I think that's more of a rest pose, I believe. And then, of course, you have these open grab hands. Ooh, I wouldn't want to be the con that he plans to use these on. As for bot mode, you pretty much just have a couple extra for joint parts that they all utilize, and standard hands pretty much to the opposite of what's on him right now. So just another open hand for his right side and a closed hand for his left side so he can wield his swords with, and a mask part that you can swap with. So you can actually have the full mask cover. Oh, or his full face. That is so cool. I do like that. I do like that part. Because I figured he only came with one, but you have an alternative. And speaking of his swords, you can of course utilize them in both hands if you wanted. Or just, however you want to use them, like such. It's really cool. I like that gimmick. It definitely gives me classic Beast Wars vibes, I won't lie to you. I do like that part. That's just nostalgic to me right now. And as you can also see, the stands are all easy to assemble, easy to display, and they all come with these really cool decals right there with his face on this one, same with his beast mode's face on that one, and these cool energy effects. That's really nice. And from what I know, you should be able to attach these to fellow base mates, I guess you'd call it, where they can connect together. So if you're putting these on the shelf or something, you can connect them and now, have them all in a line forward, however you want. That's really cool. I do like that. Go. And now, before I do anything else, let's get into some size comparisons really quick. Starting with, let's go with something of a fellow wave mate. Let's go with Optimus Prime. Of course, I got to show off the best buddy here, as you can see. And let me adjust this really quick. There you go. As you can see, once I take them off their stands, you can see that Beast mode Optimus Primal is a little shorter than our Optimus here. Not a big issue, of course, being that's because he's in his gorilla mode. As for his bot mode, yeah, he's just not that much off. He really isn't. But then again, it's really cool to have both of these together for good reasons. We all know why if you've seen the movie. And of course, besides him, I of course have the one character he despises probably the most in the movie, Scourge. So of course, you can see Scourge is a little taller, just a bit. And as for Beast, he's definitely like more stronger looking for sure, comparison wise. And height wise, he's only like off by a little. But other than that, it's really cool because I do have some hopes that maybe Blokees will consider doing an Ape Links release out of the Beast mode primal mold here, because it would look really cool to have displayed against Scourge to punch him around and so forth. And let's see. Now, of course, I do have other Transformers toys here to show you with, like, for example, Legacy's Beast Machines Cheetor. I figured I had to at least show you guys a toy of pretty much the same size. So yeah, these two are pretty much the same height. Now, if he was only an orangutan, this would be like the perfect Beast Machines picture right now. And now we have two blade-wielding Maximals to fend off against the Predacons. Oh, I really wish the movie had introduced more cons. I did, and I don't mean Terracons. It would have been so much nicer to have gotten more Predacons in the movie, I won't lie. And real quick, let's of course show him off with the classic Kingdom, of course, Primal. So yes, so you can see him. Yeah, he's a lot taller now. Yeah, he's taller than our kits here, but that's all right. It's just really cool to have a comparable version between the two, to see the difference from the 90s to the 2024, 2023 eras, to see how much the Optimus Primal has changed over the years. And of course, speaking of movie and Primal and so forth, I of course have to show him off with my biggest, my YOLO Park Optimus Primal model kit, which is really big in the sense of these little guys, because as you can see, yeah, yeah, our AMK Primal is definitely much taller than our blocky Primal you see here. Definitely much bigger. And yes, of course, if we throw in our bot mode version, you can still see the difference in height, of course. but it's still cool to see how, how it would look comparison wise. Oops, sorry, hold on. There you go. As you can definitely see, once again, yeah, our AMK version is still much taller, no matter what, in this case. Well, it is nice to see this setup. I do like it because you got this big, tall version with the little version. It's like that classic toy setup of father and son kind of look. I do like it. It's just fun to play around with. I do like that stuff. Let's see. Well, yes, that's pretty much it, my friends, for these two. I can tell you right now. Oh, actually, before I do any recommendations, I do want to mention one, of course, notable detail is that if you were wondering, yes, of course, as you can see, you can, of course, buy these separately, but note as that there is a special combo set with these two and Optimus here, to where you get these three in one set. The difference being is that bot mode primal is in a clear plastic, so the chest and such are just clear, so you can see more of the LED. But what's interesting about the set is that you'll get all the same stuff you see here with all the characters I mentioned, but you also get a background piece you add to the stands that mimics the scene that, in this case, when Primal and Prime first met. So that's, just in case if you were wondering that. But back to my recommendation, yes, I do. I can easily recommend these guys. These were fun to build, play around with, and they're just fun to pose, play with, and so forth. I just love them no matter what. And of course, being that you can buy them separately, so you don't have to say, like, oh man, I don't want to buy this one when I just want this one, but I want that one, but I don't need that one. Well, guess what? You can buy them separate, so no worries. And they're not that expensive either, so there's no worries on that. So yeah, I can easily recommend these two. Now, so far, I don't know if Blokees is planning to do the remaining Maximals of the movie for the line, as into like Cheetor or Rhinox in this case, because though I would love to see an Ape Lynx, as I mentioned, and I would love to see Air Razor, but sadly I don't know about, especially in this case, Air Razor in this case. But I do have some hopes for Ape Lynx. I do, because I've been thinking about it lately, being that the last Rise of the Beast unit we did get from Blokees was a Nemesis Prime, which, as we all know, he's not in the actual movie. He's just a standard recolor for Prime. I don't know, maybe it's a small chance. Maybe we could see a Nemesis Primal for his bot mode, and then maybe they'll do an Ape Lynx for his beast mode release, maybe? I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think that'd be cool? I mean, I think that'd be awesome. But if not, oh well. So yeah, that is about it today, my friends. I thank you always for coming, and I hope you're all enjoying your hobby, and I will see you all later.